right, let's clap it up. Shalom, DC, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started up in 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yahanna. Since 1969, we've been teaching the truth of the Bible, and the truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Jews, and that our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. We are not affiliated with any other Christian group or Hebrew Israelite group on the face of the planet. 1 West is home of the truth, right? First of all, before I even get started with anything, let's give the Most High a hand. Let's give Commanding General Yahanna a hand. Let's give Captain Cesario a hand, and all the Akim and Aquath that made the New York cookout a huge monstrous success. A huge success from the camp, from the organization of everything, to the camp, to the party, the yacht party, to the sisters having the sip and paint event, to having the cookout the very next day. Everything from what I hear, from what I understand, unfortunately, because we are in captivity, I was not able to make it. I was not able to make it up there. Lord allow, Lord allow, He'll allow me to make it up to upcoming events. You know what I'm saying? But from what I hear, by all accounts, everything was a total and outright success. You know, got from what I seen and from what I heard, you got a Hamite to bow down before the prophets in front of the center of the world, quote unquote, the center of the world. You know what I'm saying? Everything happens in New York, and you got a Hamite bowing down to the prophets, to the men that the Most High had risen up to acknowledge the things that his forefathers has done to our forefathers, and how we've come to be in this oppression that we are in today. All the things that have happened, you know what I'm saying? I hear, like I said, the yacht party was a total success. The sisters, the aqua that had the sip and paint, that was a total success. While the brothers is out there, battling, doing battle, waking up our brothers and sisters while we're out there in Times Square. Sister was able to enjoy, sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? And without, saying we really can't have one without the other. When a lot of people say, all we want is for the women to stay home and I don't know what in the world they say, because I don't really listen to Salakia, but I do know that they be talking. I know they talk mad stuff about us. I already know that. You know what I'm saying? And from what I hear, the stuff that they talk about the sisters, man, you have no idea how happy these sisters really are in this school. You have no idea even the brothers, what the sisters have come from to what they are now. You know what I'm saying? They went through the same process of killing that old person and becoming a totally new person. Christians would love to say, oh, I'm born again, when they still doing the same old stuff, same old crap that they've been doing before they've been, quote unquote, born again. Well, you Christians read about the scripture, you know what I'm saying? We actually live it. We actually do the thing to become born again, to become a new person, totally new person. So the men and women that are the brothers and sisters that are in here, that are in the school, are 100% new people. You had something to say? You was going to say something?
Yeah, concert. What you were saying about the outsiders, or the people who are not in the truth. They say about our women, they want them to be in the house, pregnant, barefoot, cooking all day, cleaning all day. That's not the case in the I.S.U.P.K. Because what General Muhammad said, he said, a woman has to give you that authority over her for you to be the authority in that house. So it's no force for any woman in the I.S.U.P.K to do anything for a brother. She gave that power to that brother. So she is serving her Lord like you serve your Lord.
General Muhammad brought it. You 100% correct. You 100% correct. General Muhammad said this and it became a slogan, a motto, a theme for the sisters in here. You know, he said, your submission, the women, the sisters, submission is their superpower. You know what I'm saying? And in order for a household to be great, one, the man has to recognize authority in the household. He has to be subject to authority. So he has to be he has to answer to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And when he shows that woman, I remember I've heard Captain Zariak say this 1,000 times. And he says, he says, sisters, you find it hard and difficult to try and, or to say Khan out of one Khan, to submit to your husband. And sisters oftentimes say, well, you ain't submit to nobody. Well, that's a goddamn lie, because the men here in I.S.U.P.K submit to a higher authority. And when we say a higher authority, we don't make it like the way Christians make it. Only God can judge me. You know what I'm saying? That came from the book of Tupac, First Thugs 12 and 9. No. When Christians say that, they say that because they want something. They don't want another man to be over them, to tell them, hey, you're doing wrong. You can't do this. You shouldn't do that. You need to go and fix this situation and then report back to me how you fix the situation and the outcome. They don't want to do anything like that. So that's why they say only God can judge me. When in here, we say there's men better than us that tells us what to do. And then when we do it, we submit ourselves to them. When we do that, then in turn, can we only become better men? So if we can submit, now I heard Captain Zarek say this a million times, if we can submit to someone who's better than us, and we have women, we have wives, we have ribs, you better submit to that husband. This is plain and simple. That's it. Now, what I'm going to get into, it's like it. Shapat Dayak said, Command Joey and how to save that. He's talking about the Hamite, I believe. Should have seen everybody moved in closer simultaneously when he thought he was about to get 400 bukas. Most High in Christ. Yeah. That must have been quite a sight. Well, like I said, what I'm getting into tonight is a few days ago, last week, we had me and a couple other brothers, me also Warren, Kazak Ahmad, myself, and also Shapat went out to NAACP event, right? Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory on this particular event. I'm gonna try and post the videos. There was a video that we have. I should have pulled it up. Salakia, I can just bear with me one moment. See if I can. If they'll allow me to log in over here. Okay, hold on. All right, I got that. So we were at an event. Yeah. we were at an event, and a brother that was a part of the NAACP, this and particularly this chapter, he was getting a bit fed up with how things were being operated, how things were being operated, how things were going. Yeah, okay. I done messed up. I got the video. Y'all about to see the video. He was a bit fed up with how things were going within that organization, the NAACP, in particular the chapter in Northern Virginia, Fairfax County. Now, believe it or not, Fairfax County is one of, if not the richest counties, at least in Virginia. Is one of the I believe is the richest county in Virginia. And he was getting fed up about how it's called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP. But he was getting fed up at how it was being gentrified. You know what I'm saying? How every meeting he would go to, every event that he would attend concerning the NAACP, in particular this chapter, he was concerned about it being gentrified, and how it was upsetting to him. He would go at the leadership within this organization. He would go at them saying, this is supposed to be for colored people, supposed to be for black people, for the betterment of black people. Now, really, his real passion is for education within is for education. He's in the NAACP because he thought that organization is pro-black, when really it's the National Association for Advancement of Caucasian People. Really, everybody in there believes it's for Caucasian people and not colored people. He came to find out that really it has everything to do with I'm gonna get it. Hold on. Sorry. Really, it had everything to do with how the way they're recruiting. You know what I'm saying? Not only they're recruiting, but there was certain agendas where he just got fed, and this particular agenda was the final straw. There's a push to, and everybody knows there's a push to be what's the word, to be inclusive with this whole LGBTQ plus community within schools, trying to get them young. You know what I'm saying? So there's literature, and there's also syllabuses. You know what I'm saying? Plans to introduce this lifestyle into the community or into the schools. There's certain books that he has seen, and the community is enlisting the NAACP to push that agenda forward. NAACP was like, okay, we're going to do that because we want to be inclusive, and we want everybody else to have the same rights as we have. You know what I'm saying? And this is something UPK has been saying for years and years and years and years. Why are we, when I say we, I'm talking about the black and brown community, putting everybody else's agenda ahead of us? Why are we championing everybody else's cause and concern ahead of ours? Everybody on the face of this planet knows this, and so they use this to their advantage. So this LGBTQ community came to the NAACP to further their agenda. NAACP opened them with welcome arms. This brother, that was the last straw with this brother. Salaki. Let me see. I guess I'm gonna have to post this. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Hold on, Salaki. Bear with me 1 second. All right, I got a I got a video here. I want everybody to see, and I got. I was just, that was giving you some context off of what oh, how about that? It was already up there. Okay. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. Hold on, let me pause that. I'm gonna cue this up and we're gonna see. You're gonna see what we saw. Right? Okay. So this brother, like I was saying, this brother went went back and forth within the NAACP, and he was saying, "Hey, this is wrong. We shouldn't be pushing this agenda, especially to kids." You know what I'm saying? Pedophilia agenda. They have literature that's pushing pedophilia, like seriously pushing pedophilia in the schools. You have some?
Yeah, I saw a post. It was a book, a little children's book. It said, "Don't yell or scream if a person comes and talks to you. It's okay to accept candy from a person. They're just being nice. If a person has something, has a toy in the van or something like that, just basically everything that we grew up with, saying that our parents taught us not to do, is the exact opposite."
Yeah. And how do pedophiles have kids? You want to know how they create how pedophiles create other pedophiles? They molest other kids. That's how they have kids. This is how they reproduce. That's a better word. That's a better analogy of what I'm trying to say. In order for pedophiles to reproduce other pedophiles, they molest other kids, and those kids unfortunately, those children that get molested and do not have counseling, do not have therapy, do not have an outlet for that trauma. If that trauma does not get addressed in time, they will become pedophiles themselves. That is that is the cycle of this whole thing, right? Now, this brother was pissed off about it, right? And let me hold on before I get to that one. Let me hold on. Is this because I want you to see exactly? I want you to see here. Okay. I want you to see exactly what these niggas said. I want you to see what these niggas said on Twitter. Because after we went in, so he was pissed off. He was pissed off, really, truly pissed off about it. He was going after the leadership within the organization, saying, "Hey, this has nothing to do with us, with our agenda. How we can uplift our community, how we can build our community from within. What in the hell does pedophilia or homosexuality have to do with building our community? This has nothing to do with it." He was attacking them. He was provoking them for what they were doing. Moreover, the climate. When I say the climate, the makeup of the organization itself, from at least his chapter, was changing. How he was saying how in order to get some outreach, in order to get some new membership, some new blood within the organization, you need to go out and try and recruit. You know what I'm saying? This is what he was saying to us. You need to go out and try and recruit. You need to go out and get the youth involved. You know what I'm saying? Even some older people. It just, if they hadn't been a part of the NAACP, he wanted them to be a part of it so that, you know, it can grow. You know, and what he was saying was the makeup kept getting lighter and kept getting lighter until it's almost, you know, damn near white. It's damn near white. And then on top of that, there was another author. There was some author who's a pretty high ranking within this chapter. I want to say she's like the vice president, the VP of this chapter. She's an East Indian. She's an East Indian, a Sanjay Gupta East Indian mofo who's married to a brother, and she portrays herself as a sister. She wears her hair like an afro. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't like him because he called her Rachel Dolezal. You know what I'm saying? And he's put that in print. So he's not like he's saying it behind her back. He's saying it to her face, like, you're not black. I understand that you it seems like you have a care for black people, but you're not black. You have no idea what the sisters are going through, and for you to try and portray yourself and have a higher position in the NAACP, this is a travesty. You know what I'm saying? This shouldn't be. This shouldn't be. There was a few about a year or so ago. Everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody. There was a popular TV show called Comic View. You know, Comic View. That's historically black. Am I right? I could be wrong. That's historically black. That's something that we have, right? Now, I remember Earthquake saying, you know, Earthquake the comedian, he was saying they chose a new host for it. And he was saying, I like this dude. This dude is my friend, but he has no goddamn business being the host of Comic View. And the comic is Gary Owens. You know who I'm talking about? The white comic who does black comedy, quote unquote black comedy.
That's the season when nobody watched it.
So you know what I'm talking about, right? So he was saying that he had no earthly business being up there. Why? Because it is for black people. It's for black comics getting opportunities that they would otherwise wouldn't have. Right. What this East Indian woman is doing is taking a position. Now I'm saying we do not advocate being in any organization other than the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? But just on the outside, if you had no idea what in the world the I.S.U.P.K. was or what we're about, you would think that the NAACP is like a shining light for black people. You know what I'm saying? If something goes wrong within the black community, you would kind of reach out to NAACP. Now, what if you reach out to the NAACP and you hear an Indian accent saying I'm the vice president? Like, what the this don't make no sense. This makes zero sense at all. So now this East Indian woman who's portraying, who's acting like, or who's acting, for a better sense of better word, who's acting like a black woman, is taking a position from other black people. And historically, that is how this organization has began. So this guy in particular reached out to us and said that these niggas, NAACP is whitewashed. Their recruiting effort is pointed towards people, it's pointed towards white people and people of other nations and wealthy, affluent black people who have already turned their back to the regular, everyday, average nigga in the street. Turn their back to the Trayvon Martins. Turn their backs to the Ahmaud Arbery's. Turn their backs to the Philando Castillos. Turn their back to the Sandra Blands. This is the effort that NAACP is trying to get those type of people. Those type of people that say the Candace Owens of the world, you know what I'm saying? They try and say, well, all you have to do is not resist and don't talk back to the police and give them what they ask for, and you won't have any trouble. Those are the people that the NAACP, at least in the Fairfax County, is recruiting.
Yeah, sloppy, sir. There was a saying I heard in the movie. There's a difference between black people and niggas. So they want to
what, the Chris Rock joint?
Actually, it was I saw this clip. It was on Facebook with a whole bunch of white people around a long table where they was talking about, well, let's get, we can't get all the black people everything, because we got to get like one or two of the smart ones and have them turn against their people.
Martin Luther King.
Use for us.
Yeah, Martin Luther King, right? Yeah, basically, yes. I think I saw that. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, exactly. So this is their recruiting efforts. Now their recruiting efforts, again, their recruiting efforts is so let's take it back to this event. He called us and he wanted us to come out there and make a presence. And boy, did we make a presence just by walking in the building.
Right.
Just by walking in. Let's give the Most High a hand and Commander General Yahanna a hand for teaching us how to command power, how to command fear. There was I remember a bunch of the captains and generals, all teaching about how in times of old, when the prophets came into a town, people would be like, "Oh, why is he here?" You know what I'm saying? What you come here to do? What for? What? Why? Because when the prophets really came into town, or the priests came into the Levitical priesthood came into town, they came to judge. They came to chop somebody's head off. They came to decree, take this nigga out and stone him and that adulterous woman. So there was fear when the priest came into a city, came into a town, came into a building, and that fear. Boy, I tell you, I felt it. I felt it when we walked in there. So that was sort of his intent. And so this event, I don't want to be real long-winded, but this event was the first in-person event since COVID. So just give you a little backstory. So the last 2 years, they haven't had an in-person event where you can go and shake somebody's hand, stand next to them and take a picture with them, do whatever. They hadn't had that in 2 years. 2 years. The whole time before that, it was Zoom calls, right? And the way their structure is they are such cowards. They are such cowards that all. There's not like a town hall type meeting. You know what I mean by town hall type meeting? When I say that, it means you cannot say, hey, I have a grievance. We need to address this as the NAACP. Why? Because historically speaking, if there was something that happened, you could go to the NAACP and tell them what happened and say, hey, can you help me with this? They're not doing this. They're not doing it. It's more of a meetup. Like, hey, y'all can talk amongst yourself and do whatever. But there is no speaking out. There is no mic. It's like church. It's like church. You can't talk in church. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So when we got there, I'm driving. I got the address. I'm driving there. I'm like, all right, well, where the hell is this place, right? And they said it was. He told me it was an Irish pub. Why in the hell is an NAACP meeting for the first time in 2 years at a goddamn Irish pub? Why? Why it ain't at one of these one of our businesses? Why ain't Sylvia's of DC, Sylvia's of Fairfax? You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, this is the richest county in Virginia. So black people had some money. It was an Irish pub. When I was driving down there, and I'm driving, I'm like, yo, I don't think this is a place. Why? Because I'm going on to a golf course. It was in the middle of a damn golf course. What niggas is golfing? I know one. I know one nigga that golfs. Tiger. Who else? Who else golfs? I don't know. So just right there, it automatic. There was no buses over there. There was no public transportation over there. Why? Because the people who ride the bus, who takes the public transportation, who takes the train, the metro, are the people who really need this. I would probably say would need some representation. You know what I'm saying? But this is you had to have a car to go out here in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of and the whole time I was there, because I had to wait outside for a minute. I ain't see not near a nigga out there. Matter of fact, when I first pulled up, I saw some cop cars out there. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Come to find out later, when this dude who called us, we weren't even there. He showed up there first. When he showed up, they called the police on him. The black people called the police on him. He just walked in the door. They said, "Man, we got somebody who's agitating the situation, probably causing some trouble. So you need to come and get him out of here." That's how they welcomed him. That's how they welcomed him. It is. Now, let me show you what happened on Twitter. Let me show you what happened on Twitter after we came through there. Hold on, I'm gonna show it. Bear with me a second. All right, you can read it for yourself. It says right here, who would you bring? This is a question posed by the NAACP. Who would you bring to the first in-person at Fairfax NAACP general meeting since the pandemic? Like I said, this is the first in-person meeting that they had in 2 years. It's the first meeting that they had in 2 years. A, would you bring friends? Would you bring family, friends, and trusted allies? When they say trusted allies, they mean white people. No, don't sugarcoat it. They mean white people. Who did Henry Jackson bring after 2 years? This Henry Jackson is the man right there in the middle that's not dressed in UPK garb, right? All right, so that's who invited us out there, right? So he says, who did Harry Jackson bring after 2 years of racist attacks against the NAACP? Now, how in the world is a black man going to have racist attacks against a quote unquote black organization? What does that mean right there? What does that mean right there? If I say you need to, if I say I'm coming to a black organization, let's just say I think I'm coming to a black organization, and I say, because you say that you're a black organization, you're supposed to help black people, you're helping everybody else but black people. How is that a racist attack?
It's not. Sorry, sir. That's called accountability.
Exactly. But if you was not a part of the people he's demanding you to help, how is that? Are you part of that? You know, that people? Just the simple fact that whoever wrote this tweet, it's one of two things. Either they're not Black, Hispanic, or Native American, or they think they're not Black, Hispanic, or Native American. These people have no interest in supporting or raising up Black and brown peoples. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Their agenda, 100%. Why? Because, like I said, this brother, he was pissed off about how the makeup of the organization, and you're gonna see a video of the makeup of this organization. He was pissed off about how the makeup of the organization was and how their recruiting event was all about, and how they recruit people. They're not recruiting the poor, the disenfranchised, the regular, ordinary, everyday, blue collar Negro, quote unquote. They're recruiting rich and others, and that was a problem for him. Still is a problem. It was a huge problem for him, and he brought it up time and time again, to the point that they're calling him. They're saying that his concerns were racist. He has a righteous righteous I'm not gonna say cause, issue. He has a righteous issue with them. You're supposed to be for the advancement of colored people. Why are you hiring? Why are you recruiting white people? Why are you letting East Indians be in charge of things that within the organization? Why is that? The National Association of the Agenda of Caucasian People. That's exactly what they was doing. That's exactly what they was doing. So let's read this slide. Let's just read this part. So he says, so they say, who should you bring to the first in-person Fairfax NAACP general meeting since the pandemic? A, family, friends, and trusted allies. Who did Harry Jackson bring after 2 years of racist attacks against the NAACP? Now, this is a black man. This is a black man. And they put a black supremacist hate group. That's what they put. That's what they said. Who Harry brought in, who the brother brought in. They call us a black supremacist hate group. You think we're blacks? You know what? Let me ease everybody's mind. We are a black supremacist group. And when you say we hate, that's not hate. When white people, when the Jewish man says, I'm going to lend to other Jewish people and not charge them interest, that's okay. When Asians say, when you first come into the country, you have a place to stay, you have a job, and we will give you a loan, and we'll give you a grant, because really it's not a loan. We'll give you a grant until you get on your feet, and then once you actually get on your feet, you do that, and we'll give you a business. And once you get on your feet, when someone else comes into the country, you do that for them. When they do that, they're called good citizens. But when we say stop going to these Asian nail salons and go to Keisha's joint, stop going to these Chinese food stores and go to the Jamaican spot and get some real food. When we say stop going to the African booty scratchers to braid your hair and go to Lakeisha's joint, we're being racist. How is us showing love to our people being hateful to another, when every single nation does that on this planet? But when we do that same thing, say, I am going to give my money to my people. I am going to give my expertise to my people. I am going to give my kindness and consideration to my people. You've had enough of it. I'm going to take it from you and give it to my people. How is that being hateful? I don't understand. How is that being hateful? Coming from an organization who is supposed to be a national organization to advance colored people. Cat Mashah brought out last week how the way there was a picture of the brother who was at, I don't know if he was at camp, but it's a picture of the brother who was, had a little piece of a cigarette looking through a trash can. The brother was homeless. And then a picture right side by side of him and a UPK garb, right. Hebrew Israelite garb, right. Looking strong and mighty. Not only that, He had a Hebrew Academy cover on.
Right.
Now tell me, is that not lifting up and changing black men? Not only did it change him, it changed his household. It changed the generations to come. So how in the hell is this quote unquote advancement for color people organization going to look down at us when we're actually out there getting people off of crack, getting women off the stripper poles, telling the women, if you cannot handle the baby that you're about to bring forth, do not kill it, give it to us. Stopping women from having abortions. Huh? How about that? How about we fix broken households, fix marriages, fix broken men, fix broken women, raise strong, reliable children into strong, reliable men, strong, reliable women. That's what we do. What in the hell has NAACP done? What have they done? Out of all their posturing, what actually have they done to help the black and brown community? Slakia. I'm gonna play this video. Where that? That ain't it. Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna show you how the way when we came up in there. Just look at it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Salakia.
Sorry, sir, if I may.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, sorry, sir.
Go ahead.
I would like to give a hand clap to Harry Jackson. You know, he girded up and went to war with y'all. So he did something. He did something way more than the NAACP would do.
That's exactly what Commander General Yahanna said has been saying for years and years and years. If anybody in the black and brown community on the reservations, in the barrios, in the hoods, or in the jail cells, in the prisons, if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, and you have an issue, if you have a problem, if you have even if you think it's small, from the smallest of the small to something huge, call the I.S.U.P.K. Call the I.S.U.P.K. Google I.S.U.P.K. then your city and call that number that's on there. Go to isupk.com.org and find the camp that's nearest you, and we will help you with that issue. You shouldn't be calling, we are here to serve black people. We are here to raise up black and brown people. You know what I'm saying? We see here the valley of the dry bones. We're about to restore our nation. That is what we're here to do. We're not here to, like the Christian church. Salakia. On the way over here, I heard something about, the churches, particularly in black churches. Pastors aren't there to help you. They're there to just smash your woman. When that is not our agenda. That is, and take money. That's how you take the money, is you smash the woman. Why? Because a woman controls the household. If you have any issues at all, you need to get a hold of the men in the I.S.U.P.K. Just like this brother did. You have some?
Yeah, concert. And just real quick, there's no way that the so-called NAACP can say that we're a hate group, because I.S.U.P.K. never compromised. We never allowed any other nation into our body. We are the ones that really do care and love for so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the real people of color.
You damn right. You know who's not a hate group?
Us.
you wanna know who's not a hate group? That Christian church that let in that let in Dylan Storm Roof. They ain't a hate group, and they suffered a tragic loss because they wanted to love everybody. They wanted to love everybody, and unfortunately, you cannot just let poisonous snakes into your house and let the poisonous snakes around your children. Why? Because someone is going to get hurt. Sooner or later, someone is going to get hurt. You understand? Now let's watch this video right quick of our entrance and what happened very, very shortly afterwards. Select it 1 second. All right. This is us entering this place. Now, this dude right here that's leading the way in a red hat is the owner of this pub. It's an Irish pub, but he's the owner. He was very friendly, showing us around. Now, look how full this is. You see a lot of Caucasians in that mug, too, don't you? Now, this brother, he owns this place.
A few minutes later.
When we first came in, the place was
Look at that.
Yeah, and now when you actually see
look at that.
Like the black,
literally a few moments later.
They actually had this guy's name is
literally a few moments later. You can't make that up. You can't make that up. you cannot make that up. You see how empty it was, right? You see how empty it was. We went in there. It was full. Everybody was enjoying themselves. It was this one. It was this one brother. Who had some rank within NAACP. This brother said, "Hey, what's up?" to him, and he looked back at him like, "Nigga, what the hell is wrong with?" Like he looked like if you look at somebody like this, we're gonna have to fight. You know what I'm saying? And he looked at him like that. Like, how dare you bring these niggas up in here? You got some goddamn nerve bringing these niggas up in here. And after that, like I said, there was a whole Twitter battle going on saying how, we're a hate group. We were only brought in there to intimidate them. We were there to make them fear us. When reality, we were just going in there just to see what's going on. It's supposed to be a recruiting event. It's supposed to be a recruiting event. Letting black people, it's supposed to be, letting other black people know, hey, NAACP is here. You are more than welcome to come and join if you want. You know what I'm saying? But when we come in, they say, we're trying to intimidate them. But the door is supposed to be open to all niggas, right? We some niggas. Why we can't come in? Why come we can't come in and sit down and see what y'all all about? If y'all like black people so much, what's wrong with us? What is wrong with us? The real reason is they want to make America great. And with niggas like us, we do not want to make America great. We want Babylon to fall.
Right.
We want Babylon the Great to fall. This kingdom has to come down. NAACP is there to prop it up. You got some?
Yeah, concert. It seems like if the so-called white man is not the person that's doing the recruiting, they don't want to have any part to do with it. They want to have control over who they bring. Like you said before earlier, the certain type of black person, and they want control over. If they don't have control, they don't want a part of it.
Exactly. Exactly.
That was disgusting.
Salaki, 1 second. Salakia. What was that? Where was that?
I said, if they don't have control, they don't want anything.
100%. If they don't have control, they don't want anything. They don't want to have anything to do with us. Did you send me that the article?
One article on the
Messenger? Okay. And which one is this? All right, go ahead. Yeah. Read out this. We got an article on the history Slagia on the NAACP.
From history.com, the founding of the NAACP. The NAACP, or National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, was established in 1909 and is America's oldest and largest civil rights organization. It was formed in New York City by white and black activists.
By who?
By white and black activists.
Let me tell you something. Anytime you have we are trying to establish something for ourselves and you involved anybody else, it is going to be 100% at best. At best, is going to be watered down. At best, that's the best you can hope for is something watered down. At the worst, it'll be taken over, which exactly what it is right now. What the NAACP is right now. Is taken over by everybody else, mostly by the oppressor, but it is taken over by, like, how in the hell can you be infiltrated at such a rate, at such a position when a local chapter is a president and she's a white woman? Like, how can that happen? Now we've had people who've tried to come into the I.S.U.P.K. and they've had to prove who the hell they were. They've had to prove. Now they may look now feel this for a minute. They may look like me, but be a 100% oppressor. They may look like, they may look like Donald Trump, but could be an Israelite, could be a brother. Has nothing to do with what you look like. Has everything to do with your bloodline. Has everything to do with your bloodline. And the people who claim to be one thing and really are not, and they try and come up in here, they are found out to be liars. And they're not up in here. 100%. Just like, the water supply, just like we were saying, NAACP was started by the oppressor. 100%. Was started by the oppressor. It wasn't started by anybody. And then even with that, like I said, at best it can be watered down. But when you have somebody who's pulling at your strings, you get what we have right now. The quote unquote debate about critical race theory. Why is there a debate? Why is there a debate about what oppressors did to us? You know what I'm saying? We've learned about how is there critical race theory about the Holocaust? No. All the atrocities about what happened and in that situation has been brought out. And even more, whenever they find out some more stuff, it's still being brought out. More and more details are coming out. Even though it's been, about 90 years? 90 years later, still more and more details are coming out. Now, one could say, hey, man, that happened a long time ago. Why are we even learning about it? You wouldn't not near a nigga would say that to not near a person, whether you black, white, Asian, whatever. No one would say that to a Holocaust survivor. No one would say that. But to have the audacity to say that to us, you must be out your goddamn mind. And this is one of the reasons why we need to take our love from everybody else and put it solely on Black, brown, and Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. You know what I'm saying? Within our community, our plight is for us. We don't need to go outside and think of or get approval from anybody else. As long as my brother is good with what I do, as long as I'm good with what my brother does, I don't care about what the oppressors think. What they think and how they feel means nothing to me. Why? Because one day they're going to get we are going to get justice for everything that they've done. You had something?
Yeah, concert. I was just about to say, the people dealing with the whole, they're still seeking those offenders. They're still seeking justice for those people to this day. But they say that it's a problem for us to seek justice for the heinous crimes that have been committed against our forefathers. It's straight hypocrisy.
Say that one more time.
They are seeking justice for the things that happened to their people. They're seeking that justice today. But they say that it's wrong for us to seek justice for the heinous crimes that were committed against our forefathers, which is straight hypocrisy.
Everything they do is hypocrisy.
Constantly.
Everything they do is hypocrisy. They want to teach us that God loves everybody. All the while they keep us segregated. They keep us down. You know what I'm saying? There is no equal to there's no equality and nothing between us, between the Black and brown community. The Mormon Church, I want to say 70s, maybe 80s. They didn't allow, Black people in. And up to a point, they would allow Black people in, which we shouldn't even be in their organizations whatsoever, right? When they did allow Black people in their organizations, they couldn't obtain a certain ranking. I don't know. It's some you know how those oppressors go around riding bikes. You know what I'm saying? With the white shirts and the black, and they have the name tags, and the name tags say elder such and such. They 17 years old. Who the hell? What elder are they? I had one of them niggas come to me and say that they were from the tribe of Benjamin. I'm like, are you serious? I told you everything they do is hypocrisy. I'm like, you don't know. You don't even know that you don't know, right? But they couldn't hold that position. The position that they have the kids going out, door to door saying, "Hey, have you heard the good news?" Black people couldn't hold that position until it was the president. I want to say it was Jimmy Carter. I might be wrong, but it was in the probably 80s. With Jimmy Carter threatened to take away their 501c3, and then they would have had to pay taxes. They would have just been a regular corporation, whatever. They would have had to pay taxes. Then they was like, well, all right, don't mess with my money. We're gonna let niggas in. And that was how they changed their organization. You deal with the oppressor's money, and he's liable to do anything. He's liable to shut stuff down or open stuff up and be even more subtle, because he is the most subtle beast of the field. You have something?
Yeah, still to this day, they teach that if you have skin of color, it's a sin.
They do that. Yes. Like I said, we shouldn't. All these other nations' ideologies and philosophies are vain. They're nothing. They're meaningless. They're not that philosophy or whatever the hell they think or they believe is not going to get a brother off crack. It's not going to get a sister off crack. You know what I'm saying? It's not is not going to stop CPS from coming, kicking in our doors and taking away our children. None of their vain philosophies are going to stop that. Joining the NAACP will not stop the CPS from kicking in your door and taking your kids. It will not happen. It will not stop it. You want to know what would prevent something like that from happening? And even if it has happened and you're trying to struggle to fight to get your kids back, call the I.S.U.P.K. You will get wise, sage counsel on hate to say it, but some brothers and sisters need to hear this. The way we've been grounded down in the dust, we don't even know how to properly be parents in this day and age. We need to clean ourselves up, sit in this class, sit in these rooms, learn, report to someone who is better than you, and learn how to destroy that old man, that old woman, and become that new person so that you are fit to have your children back. Every officer who's come into the I.S.U.P.K. and who is in the I.S.U.P.K. was once dirty and rotten and just not good. Until we've come in here, we've totally destroyed the old man to become the men that we are now. The sisters who've come in here were rotten at one point until they've cleaned themselves up. And when I say they've cleaned themselves up, how did they do that? Both men and women. How do we do that? We reported to men that was better than us. We reported to men who knew that the things that we were doing is rotten and disgusting, and we need to cut that crap out. Christian church, at best, and this is a far stretch, they would see some discrepancies in people. That's at best. But they ain't gonna tell you, and they may actually say, stop doing this. Let's take something on face value. Something on face value, smoking cigarettes. The box on the cigarette says it causes cancer, it causes, disease, it causes emphysema, it will kill you, you know what I'm saying? It will have a whole laundry list of things. And it even has pictures of the side effects. Everybody knows smoking is bad. A Christian will say, go ahead, you need to stop smoking. But do you know how hard it is to stop something that you're addicted to? They ain't gonna tell you how. Because they don't know how. You want to know why they don't know how? Because they is still smoking. You come up here in I.S.U.P.K., we're going to tell you the things that you need to stop doing in order to be that new person. The things that you don't know, we're going to tell you. The men above you will tell you, do this, do that, and do this. Operate like this. That thing that you was doing over there, do not do that anymore. NAACP will not tell you how to do that. NAACP will keep you in chains. Help raising massa up. That whole motto, that whole ideology from the NAACP, and this is just one chapter. This is just one chapter that we had that we went to. I don't know how many chapters there are and across the United States, but NAACP is so fractured that they had a white woman posing as a black woman. They didn't even know. They didn't even know. And they promoted her to the damn president of the chapter. She had 2 kids. And she like used them as props. And they didn't even say that she was white. She was a white woman. Like, come on. You want to join an organization like that? Don't even know who the hell they have in their ranks. Till now, you got, like I said, I want to say she's a vice president of this chapter over here in Virginia, Northern Virginia. Who's well, in light of the Rachel Dolezal, She tells everybody she's East Indian. But if you're not in the UPK and you don't see how the way people operate, you would, and you're under the guise of America, inclusivity of everybody, you would think that she was a sister. You had something, brother?
Yeah, concert. Two things. The NAACP has 2,200 units across America. And then just what you was talking about, that woman saying she's East Indian, she knows where she comes from. She has a nation. Like she has what's the word? She has something that is contingent to her heritage, something that she could go back on.
Mm-hmm.
Colored people wasn't that back in the day. Colored people was niggas. So we don't have now we have a nation, the I.S.U.P.K.
Damn right. Let's give Commander General Yahanna a hand for sticking with the truth all these years. And if there's anything that we can do to lighten his load so that he can carry on doing what he's doing, I am more than happy, and all the soldiers in here are more than happy to lighten his load. Right? So like, keep on going.
Concert, go out. But that's just it. Just when it was labeled colored people, that was a group of people, a nation of people that didn't have a history. But she has a history that she could fall back on. That's why she's so proud of saying that she's East Indian, which is like, first off, East Indians weren't considered. They weren't labeled colored people. They might be now, but back in those days, the colored people was us, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. She was not included in that when that came about.
Let me tell you something. In the early 1900s, during Jim Crow, there was this entertainer. It was an entertainer who was a black man. He was a little fair-skinned, but he was a nigga. He was an entertainer, and in order for him to travel in the South, he would pretend that he was an East Indian. He would wear one of them East Indian bobblehead turbans, so that he and kind of talk with a little bit of their accent, just so that he can get by. These devils, if they seen him in a suit, if he just had a regular suit on in those days, and he walked into a white establishment, he would get lynched. He would damn near, if he didn't get lynched, he would get beat out, right? But if he said he was East Indian, he'd be like, "Oh, all right, you ain't a nigga." These are the people who run the NAACP. There may be a black face that actually is the face of it, but there's somebody else who's running the agenda. And if you don't do what Massa says for you to do, either A, you're going to be out, or B, A or B, you're going to be out. You're going to do what Massa tells you to do. There was an article I can't find, but there was, and this is common knowledge right here, and about saying how when they first started, and this holds true even till today, because the reception that this brother Mark got about how he's bringing up, how the NAACP is not recruiting the type of people that they should be recruiting. They're recruiting people other than colored people, and they're serving agendas according to other people. Goes with what I'm saying, with what I'm about to say. Historically speaking, NAACP wouldn't allow the more egregious acts come to light. When I say the more egregious acts, I'm talking about more along the line of lynchings. You know what I'm saying? The tortures that have happened, and it's still happening to us. We could talk. They would allow you to talk about, having to walk through the back door of a Woolworths, not being able to be served on in a white establishment. How there's white and black, water fountains. they would allow you to talk about that, but you know what I'm saying. But the lynchings, the time when someone would kick in your door and take whatever it is they wanted to, and there was no power in your hand to do anything about it. You could not do anything about it. Now, you look back and there's been a bunch of time where that black man could have put that white man to death. But if that, yeah, with these, you know what I'm saying, with the ones and twos. But what is the consequence of that?
Him dying, his wife dying, his kids dying, burning the neighborhood. The
neighborhoods getting burned down. His neighbors are going to die because they ain't intervened. They seen something, they housed them. Their immediate families are going to get punished for it. Businesses will be burned down. Jobs will be lost. Homes will be destroyed. Land will be taken. But yet, when they Slakia, there was a video that came out very recent, probably last week or two ago, about these three oppressor cops that was arresting somebody, and they were all on them. One of them was on his head, was punching his head, slamming his head against a ground. The other dude was just holding on to the dude in the middle, and then the other guy was like kneeing the guy on. Did they do that to a brother? Was that a brother?
He was a brother.
He was a brother. They got suspended, and the only reason why they got suspended was because it was recorded. That's the only reason why they got suspended. They got suspended with pay. Now, there's another story about this brother who was on some police force. I don't remember which jurisdiction, but he was a sheriff, right? A sheriff's deputy, and then he was like on the local state police. You know what I'm saying? So he worked both jobs, and it was times where he did it simultaneously. So it was like certain days he would like, let's just say he was working, 12 to 4, right? No, he was working like 12 to 8. So from like 4 hours, it would overlap on certain days. They found this out. He admitted, yeah, I was doing that. He got suspended without pay until they decide whatever the hell they were doing. Now, he didn't put anybody's life in danger. He wasn't infringing on anybody else's constitutional rights. But he got suspended without pay. These bastards are destroying somebody. When you go take somebody, okay, they say he's resisting arrest, but when you take somebody's head and bang it on the concrete, you are trying to kill them. How do you deserve your pay after you're attempting to kill somebody when you're imbued with the power of the state or the local municipality that you're in? When you're entrusted with life and death situations and when you do that, you're trying to kill somebody. How do you still get pay after that?
So how do you deserve your freedom by blatantly trying to kill somebody? Like, if everybody in the hood know, if you slam somebody's head on a sidewalk, you trying to kill them.
You damn right. There's if anybody who's taken any sort of like law enforcement training, or any type of self-defense, even in self-defense, there's quote unquote like green zones, yellow zones, and red zones. Really, basically, like the green zones are like the extremities, the arms and legs and whatnot. The yellow zones is iffy because if you hit somebody on the arms or the legs, they can shake it off potentially. You know what I'm saying? They may even still be hurt by that, but potentially they can walk it off, quote unquote. The yellow zones where it can get more injuries, and the injuries are the yellow zones is the joints. The elbows and the kneecaps, and like where the joints are, the shoulders, right. The red zone is where you can potentially kill somebody. And the red zone is basically your whole torso, and your neck and your head. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, in the scripture, it says the groin is the red zone. Because if you hit somebody in the groin and it prevents them from having kids, you must die. You must die. Not you probably should. No, it's you must die. That's in the scripture. So like I said, I've had training like that. I know what the red zones are and the yellow and the green zones. I know where to attack somebody that can subdue somebody. But when you're doing that, just like you said, if you're banging somebody's head against the concrete, you are trying to kill them. You're not trying to subdue them and get cuffs on them, because 3 against 1, and they all outweighed this brother. They all outweighed this brother. You can put cuffs on somebody with three people. And if you don't know how to do it, it must be some more training. Now, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand, because they don't really give a damn about us. They don't care about black and brown people. They don't care about black, Hispanic, and Native American people. We do not matter to them. That's why there's a question on, whenever something like this happens, there's a question, well, why don't they have training? Because they don't care about us. They don't care about us. Do whatever it is you can do. And what they'll say, this excuse is, do whatever you do so that you can get home.
Slog it, sir. That is their training.
That is their training. That is their training.
That's what they're trained to do.
I know that at least for me, when I was in East's military, we had so much training, it was sickening. It was sickening. I hated it. I I hated it. It was at least weekly, where we had to go over when to escalate things to physical contact, and once we actually escalated things to physical contact, what in the world we had to do and how to do those things. So when I see this stuff like that, I'm like, man, for one, why did they get there? Why did they get there? You can de-escalate things, in a much better way. And if it goes there, because not everybody's gonna go away, peacefully. I get that. I understand that. And if it goes there, there's certain ways that you can do that you can, certain things that you can do just to take them out. When I say take them out, take them into custody without potentially killing them, giving them brain damage, having a serious injury. There was when I say serious injury, there was I saw a fight, boxing match, right? Sanctioned, professional. There was rules, there was referees, there was medical personnel there, and everything like that. There's one guy got hit in the back of the head. Right? And it didn't even look like, it wasn't one of them, Mike Tyson punches where you're like, damn, that nigga going, he gonna go through some stuff. It looked like it was just one of them regular punches in the back of the head. That dude never recovered from that. He is in a wheelchair. He looked like he has like cerebral. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but the people who have like cerebral palsy where their muscles atrophy and it just sticks. He looks like that from that one punch. From that one punch he got to the back of the head. Now, you take that and you take someone who's getting their head banged in the damn concrete. Something like that potentially could happen. And if that happens, if anybody fights a cop or seriously injures a cop, or even if when I say anybody, yeah. Well, no, okay, I would say this. If anybody were to do that and they were to get on top and bang a cop's head into the ground, it's not assault, it's attempted murder. It's attempt murder. And they are going to judge you to the utmost, potentially. If you're black and brown, you are definitely getting that utmost. You are definitely getting that utmost. Now, if that standard is put on them, why couldn't if that standard is put on us concerning them, why isn't it that standard concerning them to put on us? They're the ones who are supposed to have the training. If I don't have the training, why am I held to that such a high standard? I'm supposed to know better, right? Well, they're supposed to know better. This is their job. This is what they do on a daily basis. This is what they went to school for, potentially. And they don't know how to act? You have something?
Two things. The Supreme Court has ruled that the police have no interest in the civilian safety.
You're right. You're right. The highest court in the land has says we don't give a goddamn about civilians. All we care about is cops. The highest court in the land said that. Say that one more time.
The Supreme Court has ruled that the police have no interest in the civilian safety.
They don't care about our safety. They don't care about the regular and everyday man's and women's safety. This is one of the biggest reasons why Commander General Yahanna says if you have any issue, no matter how big or how small, you should call the I.S.U.P.K. You should call the I.S.U.P.K. And things, don't get me wrong, things escalate. Things definitely escalate. Things can start off real small and they can grow into a mountain. You know what I'm saying? It can happen. But if you nip this stuff in the bud, it will never get to a mountain phase. It would never get to a mountain phase. Now, if someone's, now don't get me wrong. If someone's going oops upside your head, you know what I'm saying? Has kidnapped you, got a gun to your face, emergency situation, call the police. Call them. That's what Commander General Yahanna says. But you know what your next call should be? Right here to the school. Right here to the school. That's what should happen. Let men who are better than you know what's going on, so that you can have better. You can have a better life.
Right.
Do you know what my life was like before at I.S.U.P.K?
Trash.
Exactly. It was trash. All the quote unquote accolades that I've done, all the things that I've seen, all it was trash compared to what I am right now, right here, right now. I am the best I've ever been.
Right.
No other Hebrew organization can do that. No other Christian organization can do that. No other quote unquote black organization can do that. Because all of those organizations that I've just named are serving their masters, the white man. All of them. Now, Salakia. We didn't even get into this article. Salakia. You can find this article on history.com. Let me see if I can I'm gonna see if I can put this up on the chat so everybody can go ahead and everybody can go and check it out for themselves. Is this the right? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the chat. You guys can check it out if y'all want. And check out, our go if you want, go to Twitter and see what's been going on, what's been transpiring over there, because a lot of stuff has been happening. They've been calling us, we went over there to intimidate them. We've been over there to bully them and And that was what we were doing when all we wanted to do was go over to see what in the hell was going on. Even when we took you saw in the video that it was a brother leading us in the beginning. That was the owner of that organization, the pub. He was the owner of the pub. He was the first person that came out and greeted us. When we first came in, he was the first person that came out and greeted us. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Blah, blah, blah. I am the owner of this pub. He introduced himself. Led us around, around the whole thing. Took us to the outdoor section of it, right? At the end, we actually get a picture with his brother. This brother was like, real quick, you just get a picture. He was skittish. After he didn't talk to a few of the other NAACP members and found out who we were. Before he knew who we were, he was like, "Oh yeah, hey, how you doing?" He was very, very friendly, very friendly. But at the end, when that room was cleared out, we asked him, hey, can we take a picture with you? And he was like, I don't. He was like, all right, real quick, I got to go. And then when he went to take a picture, he didn't want to stand out, so there was like a light, and he purposely went behind the light so the light would shine, and you couldn't see him. There's a reason why one of the mottos is no cowards. No cowards. That was cowardice right there, because he wasn't a coward when he first came up to us. We weren't bullying him. We weren't intimidating him. He wasn't intimidated by us, because he was communicating. He was talking with us. We were talking, and then all of a sudden, he couldn't stand. He couldn't stand being around us. Couldn't stand being around us. You had something real quick?
Yeah, sloppy, sir. I see there was a reason why we didn't give a hand clap to that brother, but hey, hopefully he gets to the class.
Lord allow. You know what I'm saying? This, to be honest with you, I've heard the general say this on many occasions, and I just didn't understand it. But this ain't for everybody. This right here is not for everybody. There's only 144,000 slots. You understand? And that may seem like a huge number, but really, to rule this earth, it's only 144,000 slots. That's it. Not everybody's qualified to fill these seats. Lord allow, I'm making my election sure so I can get one of them spots.
Right.
If the Most High is with me, if he sees fit to put me on them chariots, I'm gonna serve out all of my days to the Most High. And I'm gonna teach my son to do the same. I'm gonna teach everybody who comes in these seats, who comes through that door, sits in these seats, to give it your all. And time is short. I don't think you understand how short time really is. Time is short. Got something called a goddamn monkeypox. God damn. Niggas are scared of niggas. And the name of white people saying that we're a racist organization. How in the world could a black man say that another black man is getting black men and women off, black and brown women off of drugs, stop having them from committing abortions and become real families, train them up, get them from being addicted to drugs and alcohol and all other sorts of atrocities. How in the world could you call that man racist when all we do is build up black and brown people? It's beyond me. And with that, I pass the class to Priest and Officer Pagagua. Come on up here.
I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry each other. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew, and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming Holy Convocation is the memorial of blowing the trumpets. It's September 25th, 2022. You can find this in the book of Leviticus.
(23, 24, and 25).
You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 and 25. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, he used to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband, or scarf. With that, I say Ahmadiyam, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ahmadiyam Shabbat, Ahmadiyam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabbat Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.